Good evening. I call to order the City of Gerald regular call City Council meeting, December 3rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. We're going to start with the roll call. We have all members present. We'll now have an invocation and pledge of allegiance led by Councilwoman Clausen.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with thanks for our opportunity to serve. May we serve as citizens with genuine care and compassion. Inspire each of us to seek common good. Grant us the ability to make decisions that promote peace, justice, and the common good. Please continue to watch over us in our service. We ask these things in your name. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on the agenda is public comments. We do not have any. Agenda item number 3, consent agenda items. I'll accept a motion to approve.
So moved. I will move to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
All right, we have a motion on the floor in a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Unanimous. Moving on, agenda item number 4, regular agenda items. Agenda item 4.1, consideration of possible action regarding the contract between the City of Gerald and the Gerald Community Library.
Hi, Councilman. Thank you so much for having us here today. We're really excited to talk to you about the library. I know you've seen our presentation and you've all been receiving our newsletters. The mayor asked for a brief budget from the library, and we constructed one over the holiday for you. It is a brief one because we don't do ours till the end of December because we have a January to December thing. So, have you all had a chance to review it? Do you have any questions over it at all? We did, as part of your packet, you did receive a letter from us also, kind of giving you some information about the library and what our plans are, and you've all seen the interactions with Williamson County and us really working towards being the social services that we don't have in the community, and us working closely with Williamson County and helping Williamson County to bring in those social services. In our budget, you can see that we have lots of items with our operations and our programs. We are so excited. I've already written 12 grants this year for 2025. I've already gotten $43,000 in grants for programs, specifically for the various programs that you have been funding. And as I stated in the letter, grants don't fund salaries. Most municipalities fund the salaries of the library. And so our salary page is the first page that I put on the front, because we're requesting that you allow an amendment that allows us to have staff pay with our funds that you have allocated to us. And we hope that you will consider that, because that is our area of need. We've had grants. St. David's has been funding me up till this point in time. Actually, my salary comes from 4 different grants and types of funding. The library that is one of those funders, so that they keep their hand in it also. But that 3-year capacity grant from St. David's is ending at this point in time. And though we've been collecting donations and getting sponsorships and that, we're still in need for help with salary. We have 3 other employees. Our mental health peer support specialist, she's been leading the way on all the programs Her funding comes to an end in the end of June, and so does the program coordinator for those adult programs that we're doing for mental health and wellness. We certainly hope that you'll take that into consideration when you are working to approve the contract to amend it for this year to allow for staff to be paid.
I have a question.
Sure.
I didn't know if that was the time to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
So tell me, what are the titles of the 4 employees you have?
Okay, so we have the front desk employee, the front desk.
What's her salary?
She makes $7.25 an hour through AARP. And then, and she works for 20 hours a week. Then she has, they give her a minimal amount, and the American Legion supplements that for her to be open on, for us to open on Friday and Saturday. They have not formally approved that for this year, but they have done that in the past.
What hours are you open?
We're open 10 to 6 on Tuesday through Thursday, 10 to 2 on Friday and Saturday.
Okay, so that's one. What's the
Yeah.
other 3?
So the L4H, the program coordinator is Donna, and she does all the cataloging and all the programming. And she makes $10 an hour for 19 hours a week. And then we have Ailina, she's actually paid outside of the library through Via Hope as a peer support specialist with the St. David's grant. And then I am the last employee. And, excuse me, and my salary comes to $29,687. And I'm funded through Libraries for Health, St. David's, the library, and a little bit of that American Legion money that's left from Sylvia.
Okay.
So we kind of piecemeal everything together at this point.
And would all of the 10,000 from the city be going to salaries, or?
If
would
we
it be
need
kind of
it,
broke
if we need it, yeah, if we
Okay.
need it, you know.
But you're not sure if you
We're
need it or
not sure, right, we're
Okay.
working on it, and we,
Hmm.
you know, working to get sponsorships, donations, we've had fundraisers, you know, so we're, just requesting that if we're able to use that money, it would help us, one less burden.
So are you asking for more money or
No,
just what we're
No,
getting,
the
the
10,500, but right now, it states that it cannot be used for
Right.
staff salary, so
Yeah.
we're just asking for that consideration as we need it.
I have a question, since this involves, jobs, is this something maybe that the EDC should be looked at?
I believe the EC is
Yeah.
giving
Yes.
10,000.
And it is, we're earmarked for workforce.
How many, we ask this every year, so, excuse me, how many, Gerald residents versus non-residents are?
Well, it is growing significantly with your side. We are up to we have 2,400 total families at this point in time, and over 700, which we've actually grown by 200 this year, more families on this side. And I don't know if you live in one of the subdivisions, but there was a big push to do door hangers to get more people and the door hangers were 1,000 door hangers were put on the city side. So we did that for our Harvest Festival. We put the advertisement for Harvest Festival on one side and the library information on the other side, so that we can start bringing in more of the new people that are moving into all the subdivisions. So we've been working diligently to become part of that, putting it in their Facebook pages and that, and getting them involved.
How was your Harvest Festival? What was the turnout?
We did really well. They're estimating, Tanya was there. How many people would you estimate as an outsider?
There were a couple thousand. Yeah, it was sort of expanded.
Yeah, because it was from 11
hours.
until 9.
Yeah, it was all day.
What was your
Yeah,
estimate?
yeah.
What did y'all estimate? Over a couple thousand. Yep, I was gonna say about 2,500.
Yeah.
Because it was a trickle
all day.
all day long,
Yeah.
constant trickle.
And we had 54 businesses that came out as part of the festival, and lots of families, and lots of fun and music, and everyone seemed to have a really good time that day. So we were very excited by that, and so we shared that with the chamber the chamber did the business expo out in the street. We did the, food and the drinks and the games and the arts and crafts for the families as our part of it.
I guess my last, and as I've said before, we have to be very careful. You're not in the city limits. These are taxpayer dollars, so that's why I'm very careful. What oversight, because typically a library, you go, you read books, hang out. Now y'all are trying to do mental health. What oversight do we have to make sure that our monies that we're using, that what you're doing mental health wise is being done correctly?
Well, our peer support specialist is a licensed peer support specialist with ongoing training. She already has over 300 hours of training, and Via Hope and St. David's are overseeing that, and as long as she's there, they will be doing it. In fact, we are working, we're trying to work towards sustainability, and we're working with Capital Area Workforce Solutions and Via Hope to become an apprenticeship for peer support specialists, because we're finding out in Williamson County, they have many peer support specialists. The first responders and several departments in Williamson County have it. And so we're working with them, and that would bring in to help pay for Aileen's salary, and Via Hope still being connected in with it. And then there's a grant, a large grant of funds that would pay for the apprentice to be there for a year in apprenticeship. So it's an official program. They have oversight. They come and visit our library regularly. You would be welcome to do so, to bring anyone in that you felt deemed necessary. But we're helping a lot of people. It's really been a great experience, and what we're doing as we're growing and seeing, and walked into a full room of seniors today. And Aileen is a part of that all the time. They talk about cremation, so she brings in end-of-life planning. They talk about banking scams, and they bring in, Brian did banking scams for them. So it's not, a peer support specialist is not a doctor. They have the resources that are needed to help others find what they need in there. So she's a great resource person, listen to what their needs are, and then help them find the needs that they have.
One question for the legal verification. Question, please. In our consideration contributions to the library, are there any restrictions that would prevent them from using it for salary?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Is there a grant, is that right, or just is it interlocal?
Yes.
Because
And it would be, and it's identified in the agreement. I just wanted to make sure.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Thank you.
One of the things I would like to just add real quick, I know that, as she was saying, we have the grants that provide the programs, and we are working with the big contenders in our area. Darrell ISD is the big giant in this entire area, and we do a lot of the education portion of that. So yeah, it is about library, but it's also about resources and education outside of that. And we can have all the grants, and she's applying, how many did you say you applied for?
12 for
Okay.
2025.
So, last year we had like 109,000, I think it was, for grant. But we use that for programming. Program's great. Grants will cover programming. The problem with grants is they don't cover salaries. And you can have all the programs, but if you don't have the money to
The people to
pay for, I wish I could give them more, because they are the library. They are what's making it what it is. And we met with the county today, and they're helping us as much as they can as well. So we gotta be able to pay them to run those programs that are making an impact to our community that is growing.
And those couldn't be, any of those positions couldn't be a volunteer position? I mean, I
Well,
know
we-
libraries have a lot of
We are
volunteers.
beyond volunteers. We have 67 volunteers right now, adults and teens, mostly adults. But we saw 40 teens show up out of nowhere to volunteer all day long, come for an hour and stay for the day and help. So we have a true strong support. Here's the issue with volunteers. Most are retired, and so you can't count on them. Mother Goose was supposed to do story time today, and Mother Goose didn't show. And so therefore, we have to, because we do have a lot of volunteers that are still doing things. But we're to the point of our programs of needing paid staff to take care of the business, the finances, the program, running the programs themselves, doing all of the cataloging in the library and making sure that all of the books are up to date and ordered as we get new, because we've gotten $40,000 in new books in the past 2 years. So, we're to the point of we're needing staff, and they're all of them 18 hours, 19 hours. I'm 20 hours, officially 20 hours, but I work far longer than that. Most of the time. So, we're doing the best we can, but we're to the point where we need a Spanish speaker, as we put in there. We need a 20-hour-a-week Spanish speaker. We had 3 people before 11 o'clock today that didn't speak English, and we have an app and we do the translate the best we can. But we now have a notary that's part of the library, and a Spanish-speaking notary that will come in when we need her. We have a lot of connections, but volunteers we really struggle with them.
Consistency, if there's no
Consistency.
buy-in, they just come whenever they can come and they can. But you guys have made a huge impact. I mean, just giving us $10,500 doesn't seem like to some people a lot of money. It makes an impact and a huge difference in this community.
For us.
And I'll tell you right now, I used to be able to deliver food to our elderly once a month. It was such a pleasure and a joy. And I would knock on those doors, and I'd see a lot of our elderly that are like shut in. They just couldn't get out. No one could get them out. They're widowers. They had nothing to do. They were really having a struggle with just wanting to live. What is so cool now is that every Tuesday, was it Tuesday? What did it say initially? And how many do we have now?
Approximately 20. We had 3 tables full playing cards and games today, and almost every one of them live in Gerald proper.
Yeah, most of those are from this side of town. That they look forward to getting out and coming.
Rain, sleet, cold, they're there.
They play cards, and we, like our peer support specialist is there to answer those questions, show them how. We even have where we can set up for med clinics and things like that support them. You guys already know, you've seen our ceremony many times, but those programs are important. We get those through grants, but unfortunately, we don't get those for salary. So that is why we're asking that to be considered as an option. And we'll continue to pursue those grants for that opportunity, so we could free that up for to go back and do other things. So we would really appreciate you guys would consider that. Any more questions?
Yes, if the city decides not to change it, what is your backup plan?
Beg.
I mean, honestly, you're 501, there's 501s all over the place. What are their plans? Because not every 501 is going to the city asking for money for employees. So.
Obviously, everyone would go back to volunteer. I mean, everybody, the 3 people would lose their jobs by June. And, the AARP would be able to stay there because she's paid by AARP. Ailena would make it if she, gets this apprenticeship, but we would lose Donna. And, we have had some funding in that may or may not, cut my hours, do whatever. But realistically, I live 28 miles away to have my hours cut and my funds cut when I've worked diligently to bring what we need. And, let's face it, you have your apartment complex coming. I've been preparing in advance because I lived in an 85% at-risk community in Spring and was an educator, and I know what's coming, and I've been trying to make those connections for the people so that they have those connections in the library when they need them, when this apartment complex opens, so.
And some of that also is that grant, those grants are put in those programs, you gotta have people to run those programs, so we go right back to the top of the circle again. And so then we don't get the folks to do it, or how can they pay them, which, again, they're way underpaid, as you guys would know, and if you look at the day's time of money and salary, they're really underpaid, $7.25 an hour, I mean, but, if you don't have that, then we can't keep those grants to keep those programs. Does that make sense?
I mean, I guess if the community's growing to the point where, and what we're trying to do, is it time maybe that the city absorbs the library as a city department? I mean, like
That's where they
that.
are. There's only 40 nonprofit libraries in the state of Texas. I have a printout where the state came and did their very first time to come to the library about a month ago. About a month ago she was here. And she flat out, said, nonprofit libraries, they have to work hard. And she gave me a printout of the nonprofit libraries and what the cities were giving. And I'm not gonna lie to you, we were near the bottom, because they're giving 30, 40,000 in populations lower than ours. So, because they see that it's a resource center, as you saw when you came there. Sure, we have books, but people come there all day long, every day for not books.
And I'm the cautious one here.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, at every 501 could come in and wax poetic,
Mhm.
the greatness. We could have children's advocacy, we could have drug addiction, everybody coming. So that's why I have to balance. I know, I'm assuming that the taxing entity's off the table, y'all doing that. 'Cause I know like
Completely, we've already been,
Okay.
because all of the money's used with the Williamson County, EDA.
And they wouldn't give up the percentage.
Yes, they can't, by law they can't. We've already pursued that. As much as we talk to Williamson County, you would hope that they would decide that,
We're hopeful.
they were doing libraries, but they're not. And, we're making partnerships. I've been trying to go to the Community Foundation. She came to the library and she said, we have $80 million sitting in an account, but, they donate their money to pet projects, and you're not known, and so.
Yeah.
So we keep trying to go to their meetings and their events. We are, working with the Williamson County nonprofit organizations. We meet with them every month, the first Tuesday of the month, where we're getting all the information we can possibly gather from them to move forward. We're working with the state library, but until you're to the point where you want to absorb a library, we're just here. In
So the
a space
question
that
was,
we've really outgrown.
The original question was, is the community to the point where we should absorb? That was the original question.
Oh, I missed that. If you were ready to do so, we would be, we are, if you come to the library, Tanya's been there, we have, we're outgrowing that place every day because we have so many people. We gave out 12 library cards in the past week, and we weren't even here most of the week. So that's, it's growing, and your side is growing, and we're really working hard to bring your side in with us. So possibilities in the future, but we're here, we're working, we're doing the best we can. And
I respect that question. I think that, with the growth and resources that I've seen, I do think it's time to start looking at those conversations. Definitely, I will say that I do appreciate the work that's performed. Even having the volunteers with the inconsistency, even having 62 signed up is remarkable. I'm looking at the budget too and seeing that total number of employees and the representation. I find it to be rather conservative if you're looking at 4 employees for total compensation.
we're open 32 hours a week.
That's the representation behind the total number, is conservative, to represent that many people in the hours that are put in. I know that it, started off as a library, but it's grown and branded into multiple resources that all citizens use, whether they be a citizen of the city or neighbors on Terra. It's open to all. I have personally witnessed that you have a lot of volunteers from the city limits. Every time I've gone through the doors, I'm greeted by a city resident, and they're volunteering. So I do know that they, it's quality of life, but I don't know if we're prepared to immediately absorb. I think conversations are ready.
Sure, we'd love to have a conversation.
And I think that's future discussion.
Yeah.
It would be,
Yes.
it would be a substantial,
Conversation, yeah.
conversation and amount of money the city would have to spend.
Right.
So we
Well, we
may
would
not be
continue-
ready.
And we would continue to get all the grants,
Yeah.
continue to work for the grants to pay for all the other stuff too, so it, you know, yes, a building and, and-
As long as y'all are open to it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is about the people here. It's not about us. This is about how we're helping other people in our community on all sides.
Well, and
at this
we're,
point.
and as we're, you know, the chamber is now meeting in the library, the seniors are still here. There's no workspace in this whole community people are begging us for workspace. And, you know, we went to Harker Heights to look how they have their library and all the workspace together and flex rooms and everybody involved. And it's bigger than just a library. It's a coming together and we're all working together.
Does the
Already?
chamber contribute anything?
At this point in
Financially?
time, well, we can't charge for our room. We're not allowed to charge for the room that we have per the MUD. So when they need to have meetings, anyone that comes in and has meetings, we have one room that we can, use in there. It's our
So
classroom.
but we're making the best that we can with the limited space,
Yeah.
that we have.
So,
And in fact, the MUD has been so impressed and said this is from way bigger than we thought y'all could do. But it's a good thing.
so we invite you all to come and see us, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll motion to approve the amendment to the agreement between the city of Gerald, Texas and the Gerald Community Library Resource Center.
Second?
All right, we have a motion on the floor and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. It is unanimous. All right, agenda item 4.2, consideration and possible action regarding resolution number 2024-1203-02. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Gerald, Texas, approving and accepting the project for the construction of a new 2,700-foot-long water line along County Road 305, funded by Williamson County Community Development Block Grant 2022, providing for severability and establishing an effective date, and easement approvals, coordination agreements, and construction phase, authorization for the 2021-2022 CDBG waterline project. Jorge.
Good evening, council, good evening, mayor.
Good evening.
And if I sound nervous, it's because I am. For those who don't know me, I'm Jorge Hernandez. I'm currently the Director of Development Service. With me is Alan Luke, he's from MRV. He's a consultant that has a professional service agreement to handle the CDBG project or Community Development Block Grants. Like explained in the paragraph, this is for the construction of 2,700 feet of water line along County Road 305. It is important that we get a resolution approved. This money is free for us. It requires no matching, so we don't have to put a dime on it. The idea of this project is to complete a loop around the city that will improve our water capabilities. We will have a complete loop with this, but at least we have 3/4 of the water line installed in place for continuity. If we don't, and I stress again, the importance of it is we need to get this resolution approved in order for the county to release the funding. Otherwise, we lose the funding and that will be a bad mark on our side.
Is there any negatives for this free money?
Well, it should be more.
I mean, is there any, are we entering into an agreement with the county?
Technically, it is with the way it's written.
Well, yeah, it should be more. I mean, we can use more, but I mean, no, it's not negative. It's like I said, water is the main priority for this area, and having a loop is important for us. And by having money granted to us to complete 3/4 of a loop is a plus for the city.
One downside would be maintenance, since it's not a complete loop. It'll be a dead end that needs to get flushed out every now and then, otherwise the water would stale. That's not a huge problem.
I know that I had a lot of questions on the actual document itself, which Jorge, you clarified with the county all as well. It was just like if you're looking through the sewer pages of some language. And then we talked about, an authorized signer to execute, because I asked that question as well, with the presentation of who was listed to sign. And the county said that we could, acknowledge that at our meeting, and it would be updated accordingly.
So we just need to decide who signs it.
In the motion, it would need to, give authorization to execute the agreement.
We clarify with the county, and you don't have to, doesn't have to be the city, the city manager, doesn't have to be the mayor. It can be anyone you choose to appoint. It could be myself, it could be any.
So,
I'm sorry.
So all the audit requirements, I noticed there were quite a bit that had to be followed to maintain the grant and keep it. So who is responsible for those reports to the county and?
I will be our consultant.
It's the county's CDBG coordinator.
Okay.
She takes care of all that. There are monthly reports that I submit along with pay estimates every month. It just monitors the grant and how much is left and what got spent this month. And it gets reported through the county back to Housing and Urban Development.
If I'm not mistaken, this is time sensitive since
Yes.
it's still carried over, so that we don't lose that funding. I will make,
Let's do it.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-1203-02, authorizing Jorge Hernandez to execute the agreement.
A second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor and a second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Unanimous? All right, agenda item 4.3, consideration of possible action regarding resolution number 2024-1203-03, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Gerald, Texas, approving and accepting the project for the reconstruction of portions of North 5th Street and West Avenue A, funded by Williamson County Community Development Block Grant 2023, providing for severability and establishing an effective date and final design, project budget allocation, and authorization for the bidding and construction phases of the Avenue A and 5th Street reconstruction project. All right.
Hey, good evening again. Similar to the project above, is CBD funding, is free money, no matching requirement. Time sensitive, we need to approve it, to not risk losing that funding. And this is for the full debt reconstruction of Avenue A from 5th Street all the way to County Road 307. And that's about roughly 2,500 feet of linear feet of roadway that we're gonna replace. My understanding, the selection of that road is because it was badly damaged during previous construction. And a full depth means we're gonna repay, we're gonna have a brand new road, in place.
And that was something that the county made clear, that this money cannot be used for repair. So I scrape it off the top and put it down another layer. We gotta go all the way down to the base and then back up.
And this is one of the ones we had applied for and submitted for, and so that's the final.
Yeah, it's
Step to approve it all.
is both
Okay.
projects, both separate resolutions, but both have the same purpose. To get it to finalize the design, bidding and construction of both. And with approval, that's when the county would release the funds for our use.
And they would be bid out separately. The contractors that install the pipe, different contractors than install pavement, so we could go out and bid twice.
Well, I make a motion that resolution 2025-120303 be approved.
2024.
Oh, sorry.
May I get clarification, is there a designee to execute the agreement? Who can sign?
It's the same thing as the one before, just you can designate it.
Yeah,
Jorge Hernandez.
that's his name.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor and a second. To pass resolution number 2024-1203-03, designating Jorge Hernandez to sign or execute this resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Unanimous. All right. Thank you, Jorge. All right, we will now adjourn. Agenda item number 5. We'll now adjourn into closed executive session. 5.1, executive session. Closed meeting pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071 to seek the advice of its attorney regarding pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer or a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Texas Government Code Chapter 551 to wit, A, EEOC charge number 451-024-02957, complaint of Daniel Singh. B, EEOC charge number 450-2024-06824, complaint of Jordan Moyer Cantu. C, professional services agreement with Infomark LLC. D, petition of Highton Gerald 333 LLC to amend the City of Gerald CCN in Bell County and Williamson counties by streamlined expedited release PUC docket number 56744. E, petition for consent to the creation of a municipality utility district by High-10 Gerald 115 LLC and High-10 Gerald 333 LLC. Application to obtain water quality permit number WQ00165650001 by High-10 Gerald and 115 LLC from the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality. G, WB Development and City of Gerald, appeal pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 212-914. H, BE Theon Partnership number 3, Limited versus City of Gerald, cause number 20-0125-C425 in the 425th District Court of Williams County. And I, appointment of city manager or interim city manager. And then we have 5.2, executive session closed meeting pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074 to deliberate the appointment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee to wit, city manager. Gerald City Council is now adjourned at 7:40 p.m. Gerald City Council is now back in session at 9:45 p.m. All right, agenda item 6.1. Discussion to consider, discuss, deliberate, and take action on any item discussed in executive session, so we'll just go through them. 5.1A, we have no action. 5.1B, we have no action. 5.1C, we also have no action. 5.1D, no action. 5.1E, we have no action at this time. 5.1F, I believe we need a motion to set date? No? All right, no action. 5.1G, okay. No action. 5.1H, no action. 5.1I,
A motion to appoint Jorge Hernandez as immediate interim city manager.
Second.
we have a motion on the floor and a second. Any further discussion? I hope not. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. It was unanimous. And we have 5.2. It's,
Oh, no. A motion to authorize the mayor to execute a contract to proceed with engaging a professional search firm for city manager services.
Second.
all right. We have a motion on the floor and a second. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. You're unanimous. All right. With that, we have no further business. Gerald City Council is now adjourned at 9:48 p.m.